Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is Monday, December 7th, and this is In Case You Missed American History. Hey, hey. Hey, good morning, everybody. If you are watching this, you are probably actually watching the most important In Case You Missed It video of the quarter. If you missed today for whatever reason, that's okay. Hope you're well. Hope those around you are well. Hope you had a good weekend. But it is important that you watch this. I'm going to run you through what the rest of our time until winter break is going to look like. And that is 12 class periods according to my calendar. But this is what we're going to be doing for the next 2.5 weeks. And I'm laying out everything for you today. It's important that if you have questions, you reach out and you contact me. I cannot emphasize that enough because this is going to be a very independent unit. There are going to be deadlines to be made, but otherwise you're going to use your time for class as work time. You're going to get things done every day and try to meet deadlines along the way. And I'm going to teach you a few skill things as we go, but it's going to be up to you to get these things done and get them done well. Okay. And so I'm going to refer to the post I made in Classroom this morning at 7:40, which is called Chapter 3, The Gilded Age. Says for our unit on the Gilded Age, we'll be doing things a little bit differently. It's going to be a lot differently. I'll discuss all these things with you during our meet today or this video, but these should be all the resources that you need in order to get going. Make sure to follow along and read through the slides. Remember to ask questions. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to run you guys through all the parts of this project, but I'm going to start off with the basic explanation, which is a Google presentation. So the unit we're going to start is on the Gilded Age. I don't know if you noticed, but the first chapter, Reconstruction, is kind of what's going on in the southeastern part of the country between the Civil War and like 1900. The second chapter is kind of what's going on in the western part of the country between like 1865 and 1900. And this is going to wrap up that time period by looking at like what's going on in the northeastern part of the country and most of the industrialized part of the country. And so it's called the Gilded Age. And this is a Tic Tac Toe assignment or a Tic Tac Toe project. Okay. And I want to start off by looking at my why on doing things this way. All right, first of all, if we were in class regularly, we would have changed things up a number of times already. We would have had a few extra projects that we would have done, some public speaking, some 5-paragraph essays, some states and capitals. We would have been doing a lot of different little project-based things in the background. And then eventually when we would have gotten to this, if we all would have been together, it would have been about the beginning of October. We would have changed the pace on you completely. You're not going to have to sit and listen to me talk live. I'm not going to go through notes with you. There won't be a test on this unit. But instead, this is going to be very product-based. And so my why is I feel like, especially with online learning, it's easy to get into you come on, we do trivia, we talk for about 10 or 15 minutes, I give you some time to work, bye-bye, have a good day. And you get in a rut. You're not paying attention. You're not doing things. I don't necessarily even know that some of your skills are improving because we're not getting to practice everything that we would usually do. And so we're going to cover this one in a different way. We're going to change the pace. Now that pace is going to depend on you. And what you're working on, what you have to get done that day, what you set as your goals. But ultimately, you're going to have to meet deadlines by a certain time. It also puts more of the emphasis on what you can do and less on what I can tell you. Okay. And so this one is going to be more on you. I'm going to give you a little help along the way. I'll answer any questions. I'll give suggestions. I'll give feedback. I will give you any guidance that you need. Just if you want a flat out opinion about something, you just flat out ask. All right. But this is going to also push you out of your comfort zone because as we look at the project requirements, what I'm going to ask you guys to do, I'm not sure that you can get through this doing anything where it's 100% in your wheelhouse, as I would call it, in your strength zone. You're probably going to have to do some things that you're like, this isn't my favorite thing, but I'm going to battle. I'm going to try to get better at it. I'm going to figure it out. Okay, this project is also going to allow you guys to use more creative ways of showing off your skills and showing off your learning than doing like a reading guide or answering some questions on a topic and then using your notes to take a test. Okay, but there are going to still be some relatively traditional options that you're going to have that you're going to be able to do. Okay, it's also going to allow you to work at your own pace. One of the things you're going to have to do is 3 projects for me, 3 different projects. If you wanted to space them out, they're due on, looking at the calendar, December 22nd. That's on a later slide. If you wanted to, you could go, I think it's a project every 4 classes. Get it done. There you go. Use all the time. If you wanted to, you theoretically could get all the projects done this week if you do them well, and then just log on to the meets for trivia every day, and then you can use the other 35 minutes to do whatever you want to do. You can work on math. You could take a nap. You can play video games, but it's going to be self-paced. It allows me to act more as a helper to you rather than telling you everything. I'm going to be a big resource. I'm going to help with skill development, remind you how to do some things that you probably already know how to do, but also hopefully help you with some writing and some resource hunting and citations and things like that. Okay. Now, I hit enter and it just put a new slide in there. That wasn't thinking. All right. Here is, I clicked on 1, 2 from Mari. The how. All right. So first of all, I did record the usual class discussions, but I did the entire chapter in about 45 minutes. If you click on this link that I put in here, and I actually put this on a couple of different documents. It's here, and it's on the Tic Tac Toe thing that I'll show you in a minute. This is going to take you, I linked you to my YouTube page, and it's probably going to start with me talking right away. I linked you to my playlists. Okay, you're my YouTube page. You're going to want to go to playlists, and you got football and weightlifting, liked videos, blah, 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 blah. But the one we're looking for is the Gilded Age. Now, if you click on the Gilded Age, again, I got to stop me before I start talking too much. There are 5 videos: Gilded Age intro, entrepreneurs, invention and innovation, factories and unions, and then immigrants and cities. I think it totals about, 8 minutes, 17, 25, 38. Yeah, it's about 45, 50 minutes of stuff that you watch. You don't necessarily have to take notes on them, but if you watch them, you'll be in good shape. I do something pretty gross in the first video. Not gross like, I cut off my own arm or anything, but gross like food. And honestly, sometimes when you ask me, how am I supposed to know what a union does? I'm going to go, did you watch the 4th video on factories and unions? Or, hey, Seep, I don't know what kind of things were invented during this chapter. I can't pick out an invention. Well, did you watch in video 3 on invention and innovation? So you're going to first thing you might want to do is watch these videos. That might take you a class period. So you might be able to sit down tomorrow during class and just watch the videos. And, I don't know, maybe jot down some ideas, maybe not. Okay. So that's the first step. Okay. And obviously it's kind of an important one. Now, then what you're going to do is you're going to use a tic-tac-toe method to pick out the projects you want to do. Now, what I mean by that is in a second, you're going to see a tic-tac-toe board with 9 squares, except instead of there being X's and O's in the squares, there's going to be short project descriptions. Okay. You're going to need to pick out 3 projects that form a down, across, or diagonal win. You have to win the tic-tac-toe game. You can't go moving boxes around. You can't do 4 corners. This isn't bingo. You can't do this corner box, that corner box, and the middle box. That's not a winner. All right, so you have to pick out a line and complete those things in a winning pattern. Now, those projects are all going to be done digitally. They're all going to be handed in digitally. And none of them are going to get, there's no submit button this time. You're going to have to share things with me when they're done. And now, let me go back to the thing and I will open up the tic-tac-toe board. Now, there are 9 projects in total. You only have to do 3 projects, okay? Now, if you're wondering, oh man, you gave me 4 words, how am I supposed to know what to do? I gave you a short project description too. For each box, there is a short description of what you need to do and what the expectations are, okay? And I tried to keep it to a short paragraph, 3 or 4 sentences, tried to be pretty detailed in a small amount of time. But if I go back to the tic-tac-toe board, here are your options. Upper left-hand corner, you're going to complete the reading guides. Now, if you notice, just hang on 2 seconds. If I go back to here, it says Gilded Age reading guides. So I put those there. If you're going to do those, you click on that. You make a copy. You call it like your last name reading guides. And when they're filled in, you just share it with me. Remember, Chris Seep. Don't share it with Kate. He doesn't like it when you guys do that. All right. So you would do that if you're interested. That's kind of the traditional method. Tells you where to go to get things done. We've done this before. Okay. Top middle, we're going to create a Venn diagram. Now, if you don't know what a Venn diagram is, A Venn diagram, I'm just going to draw a really quick miniature version. A Venn diagram is where you have, and it can be any shape, but you usually do it as circles, okay? And what you're going to do is it says, create a Venn diagram comparing Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Vanderbilt. Those are three people from the Gilded Age, to Sam Walton, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos. Those are people that are considered modern businessmen. Now, what you would do is you would write things that Carnegie, Rockefeller, and Vanderbilt have in common in one part of the circle. You would write things that Walton, Zuckerberg, and Bezos have in common in that part of the circle. And then you would write things that they share in common in the middle, okay? So you're going to have to do a lot of research on that one. You're going to have to look up 6 people, learn things about them, then do some compare and contrast and try to figure out what goes where in the Venn diagram, okay? Upper right, write a 3-paragraph essay about what you think is the greatest invention in history and why. This doesn't have to be something from this unit. It can be any invention. Now, usually this is a 5-paragraph essay, but I know that we're hurting for time a little bit. And so what you're going to do is you're going to write a 5-paragraph essay minus the introduction and the conclusion. Now, in the description, I told you what needs to be in each paragraph. It says it says first, pick out what you think the greatest invention in history is. Second, do your research, keep track of your websites. You're then going to write a simple 3-paragraph essay. It says paragraph 1 should cover the inventor, so like the who. Okay. Paragraph 2 should talk about what the invention is and what it does. Okay, so you're going to do the who, you're going to do the what, and then paragraph 3 is you'll be defining your choice and telling us why this invention is so important. So it's the why. Why did you pick it? Why is it such a big deal? And then it says you need to create a short works cited or bibliography page, which properly lists all the information that you research, so all those websites. But we're going to teach you guys and remind you guys how to do that the right way. All right, when that's done, you share it with me. All right, so if you went across the top, that's what you're going to do. If you go across the middle, you're going to create and give a Google presentation on an inventor and invention from this unit. So you have to pick out something from this time period. That one video that's inventors and innovations, that's going to be where you're going to want to go. But you could also look out and pick out anything. You're going to create a Google presentation about the inventor and the invention, and then you're going to record yourself giving it, Screencastify or some other app like that. I think on Screencastify, right now you guys have a 10-minute limit. So you want to be like 5 to 10 minutes. You want to do a good job with your presentation. The slide presentation should have a works cited page with it where it's all of your proper things that you used. So you're going to share yourself giving the presentation with me. You're going to share the Screencastify with me via Drive. Okay. Middle blank. Okay. The center. You're going to write a test for the unit. Now that test needs to have questions from every one of the video things. And if you look at the description, I kind of tell you what the test is going to look like. It says you're going to need to write a test for the unit, complete with the correct answer. So you could make a Google form and share that with me. It says you will need to watch all 5 notes videos and have questions from every of the areas. The test will include 5 true and false questions, a matching section. All right. 8 people, a matching section with 8 people. Now, you may have to do that as multiple choice if you're doing a form, okay? It says 8 multiple choice questions and 2 short essay questions. Again, you have to answer all the questions. Okay, so that is option center square. Write a 1 to 2 page poem from the perspective of a new or old immigrant coming to America. So if you don't know what a new or old immigrant is, you have to watch the 5th video on immigration in cities. And then you're going to write a poem, 1 to 2 pages, explaining what an immigrant coming from the country of your choice would go through. Why are they leaving their country? What would the travel be like? What would it be like to come to Ellis Island in New York City to see the Statue of Liberty? What are you expecting with your new life? Okay. And so you're going to write a poem. And interestingly enough, that's been the least done one over the years, but it's also the one that people that have done it the best. Okay. So that's the middle. Again, you can go across the middle. You can go diagonal. You can go down, whatever you want to do. Bottom row. Write a 1-page newspaper editorial for or against the idea of unionization. First of all, if you don't know this, what an editorial does is it states facts, 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 and then it goes into the reader's opinion in the final paragraph and tells you what that person thinks. In the project descriptions, all right, where are you? Oh, right here. All right, an editorial is a newspaper or internet article that gives facts, but also states the writer's opinion. You're going to write a 4 to 5 paragraph document that states your purpose, tells us what a union is, and then talks about whether you think unions are good, bad, and why you feel that way. then you share it with me. Now, obviously, you can use the video on like factories and unions. You can use other resources, but you're basically going to write a small article that tells us what unions are, what's the argument for unions, what's the argument against unions, and then finally, what do you think is right? Do you think unions are a good thing, and why? Do you think unions are a bad thing? Why? Okay. All right, so that's the editorial. Bottom middle, you're going to use art, music, and design to develop an ad campaign for a product mentioned in this chapter. So you're going to pick out something that was invented or some idea that people are going to get sold to them in this unit, and you're going to make an ad campaign. Now, an ad campaign is not one poster. Ad campaigns are posters, a jingle. That's like the little song that goes along with something. You could make a commercial. I had someone one time make a website for something. Now, I know there weren't websites back then, but you could make a website for it. But you do multiple different things. If you walked into Pepsi and you said, hey, people of Pepsi, I want to advertise for you guys. And like, show us what you got. And you held up one poster. They're going to go, get to stepping, loser. We need way more than that. Okay, so you have to develop an ad campaign. Be creative with that one. Make sure that you are doing lots of different ways to advertise the thing, and make sure you understand the product. Last but not least, bottom right, make a 5 to 10 minute documentary about any topic from the chapter. So you can pick out anything. Can't be anything you've already covered. So if over here in this one, oh, you can't really do that. Okay, you can't write the newspaper editorial and then do a 5-minute documentary about unions, okay? But what you're going to do for that one, and this is the biggest hint I can give you, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either pick out a Gilded Age topic that is somewhere around our house, okay, and socially distance and safely go out and shoot a documentary with your phone or a camera of some kind, voiceover, interviews, things like that if you wanted to, or you can pick out any topic from the Gilded Age, make a Google slide presentation that is mostly, if not totally, pictures, and then record a voiceover. So that would, again, be another screencastify thing. That's what I'm doing here, but you don't have to put your face on it. Instead, what you could do is you could do something like this. You could make a Google slide presentation. You could hit present. Notice how I go away, start recording, and then you could be like, the Gilded Age, the how, and then you could talk about whatever topic. Now, again, if you're doing a presentation, if you're doing the documentary, I don't want a bunch of words on the slides. You want to have mostly pictures because you're talking us through something. Short video clips with no sound that you can narrate over the top of, okay? Now, again, you can go across, you can go down, you can go diagonal. Now, you're going to do this to me. You're going to go, which one's the easiest? I don't know. It depends on you and your skills. Which one's the hardest? I don't know. I know what I think the toughest box is, okay? I know what people last quarter thought the toughest box was. And a lot of the people that found the toughest box thought it was going to be an easy way out and then went, oh my God, this one is tough. I don't know if I agree with them, but that's how they felt. Okay. All right. Going back to things. Let's see. I need to be here. Okay. The projects are going to be handed in digitally. Now, here are the due dates, the whens. We're launching today. Today is December 7th. We are getting started today. As soon as I get done talking, you can start looking at what you want to do. I'm going to stay online every day during class the whole time. I'll be on GoGuardian. Making sure people are working and answering questions. All right, you have to have your first project done and into me by next Monday, which is December 14th. That has to be shared with me by the end of the day that day. Otherwise, I'm going to be sending out some parent emails to let them know that you're not keeping up with what you need to do, okay? But then the final day to hand in projects is December 22nd. That's the day of the last day before Christmas break. By the end, you have to have 3. So I'm giving you a week to do the first one, and then a week and a day to do the last 2. Again, though, it's self-paced. You can follow your own deal. Now, what we're going to do is every day at our normal time, which is 10:30, I'm going to log in. I'm going to start the meet. You guys are going to hop in. We'll talk about anything we need to talk about. Hey, here's a reminder. Here's this. Here's that. Here, don't forget this deadline's coming up. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. We may do trivia. Okay, I do trivia every day with psychology. I may do trivia with you guys. I don't want to eat up your work time. It's going to be up to you. All right. I may do some mini lessons like, hey, remember, here's how you write a good hamburger paragraph or sandwich paragraph, or I don't call it any of that crap. Here's how you write a paragraph. We're in high school now. Okay. Here's how you do a citation for a website. I may do a few of those a week. I'm not going to do them every day, but some mini lesson that's going to help you out, or just a quick, hey, does anybody have any questions? If not, go ahead and get some work done. I am going to do some progress checks with you. And I may schedule some one-on-one meetings, some 4 or 5 minute one-on-one meetings, so I can talk to you about how you're doing, where, I may go, hey, I'm going to stay on this meet. I'm going to mute my mic, and then I'm going to send you an invite where I'm just going to meet with you for a few minutes, and there you go. Okay. Now, last couple things. The rubrics are linked there. They're also in your class rules for how you're going to come up with grades. There's going to be a grade for each project where you're going to get content, communication, and analysis for each one of the 3 projects. Okay. These are big grades. So if you don't do these, expect it to not do so hot in American history. And I guess last but not least, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Obviously in class, I may have answered 500 questions. I may have answered no questions. I will probably ask every day if you guys are having problems, but that's basically the gist. Again, please reach out if you're confused. Remember too, and I don't know if I said this, there's the link to the YouTube playlist stuff on the bottom of there. The link to the YouTube playlist is also right there, so you can watch the notes. The Tic Tac Toe board is linked in the Google Classroom, where you can look at the boxes. You all have a copy of that. And also, just one last thing, you've got the reading guides. Should you choose to do the upper left-hand box, you've got them. Okay. Again, reach out if you have any questions. Hope you're well. Hope those around you are well. Have a great Monday. See you soon.